Hmm. Good morning, everybody. Chris FE here. Okay, the date is the 12th of June 2019, and I've been meaning to do this video for a while now. As you can see here, I'm going to make a few points. Climate change. It's still rather cold, and the weather's been atrocious. I can accept the rain and what have you, but it just seems to just drag on this year. I've noticed every morning getting out of the car going to work. It's usually around about this time you get rain and what have you, but I just felt this distinct coldness with the air. It just seems to be the temperature, and then in the evenings as well, the temperature just it's going. It's like if it's still like this in a month, I'm going to be seriously worried because this is a prominent change regarding the temperatures for this time of year. And this is all like before it was the beast from the east and what have you, and whatever's happening, and all theories abound about spraying the skies, doing this, doing that, whatever. But it just is distinctly colder. Even Richie from Boston was out in the desert somewhere, and he was saying exactly the same. And I'm saying the same here, though I'm not in the desert. I mean, a lot of people would probably say, yes, it's colder. Climate change this, climate change that, the whole shebang. And again, we can argue until the cows come home, but the true essence of it is that we really don't know what they're doing. We know they're spraying the skies. Harvard have come out and said so as such, and it's been known for a while. But I'm not going to get into all that. But with all the people spouting on about climate change and us having to do this and doing that and save the planet and save the environment and save, some sort of animal that's in a remote corner of the world, save the people, I say. Save the people. But have a look at this on here. I'm sure I'm sharing this screen. I'll tell you, I'm sure I am. Look at this. When they talk about cars and polluting the environment and all the fumes that the CO2, it's becoming a swear word to me. Let's just take a look at this, people. Any time of the day, this is what you see. I highlighted this one down here. Where's my mouse gone? Where's my mouse gone down here? There we are. Look at that. He's on his way to Australia. He's flying in the dark. So, and that's don't know what airline that is. I don't know. It's Santiago to Melbourne. That one. He's flying this way, so not the other way. So I don't think he's actually been. Let's see if I can close in on him here. Is he moving? Oh, there's a few more there now. I'm not sure if that's moving. Is it? Is it moving? Again, this is Flight Radar 24. You can have a look at this anytime. I don't think that's moving. It's not moving at all. It hasn't moved an inch. Oh dear. Oh, hang on, it's moved. Could be I don't think it's my website. Not sure. Um, my internet, rather. What about this fella? Are they moving? Everything's stuck. Oh well. But anyway, I haven't really done any videos recently, but the been listening to a few bits and pieces in and out, and the one thing that's abound is people's egos, and they uh, vying for position, and so for the win, and so for the win, and I won and he lost. Why is this not a competition? Is it, people? The truth can't be a competition. It's not about winning or losing. It's about the right information and with the right research. If I'm talking to somebody, the last thing I want to do is to try and gain as many points, and just have a look at the narrative in the chats, and it's just crazy. It's why I don't go into these panels. Really, I wouldn't deal with these people. It's I said to somebody recently that I'm an averagely educated guy. I've been around a bit regarding places and interacted with all sorts of people. And when I've come across something I don't really know or understand, it's I have to look at it and to try and make some sort of understanding. Is what I've done. And even when I was a young man and I was driving British Leyland cars, as bad as they were. But I have some small thanks for that, to be honest with you, because to keep these old sort of cars on the road at the time, say a car that was built in the early 70s and I was driving in the early 80s or the mid 80s, it kept breaking down, and every weekend I'd be out there having to work on it just so I could maintain my commute to work for the following week. Yes, it was that stressful, but it's sort of enjoyed in a way. But what I will say, and thanks to British Leyland for the poor quality of their workmanship and their parts therein, that I had to repair these things, and I had to. I learned a lot from a root cause analysis and having to actually determine the fault to actually fix it, and then have that satisfaction of having fixed it, which bode me well for my later career. Sort of probably twing to my brain into a sort of position where I could actually root cause things and have a look at things, first before delving straight in, as it were, with the size tens. But there you go. So that's just how I'm made. That's how I've become to be me, and it's probably with a certain amount of success in some of the roles I've had. I've not been completely successful. Don't get me wrong, but generally, yeah, it's been good and a lot of key learnings. But I'm starting to ramble now. This plane still hasn't moved, by the way. Nope. Now, one thing I did notice, or I saw pop up in some sort of chat was there. They were saying, "Oh yes, well, the people can't still explain why bottoms of ships disappear first over horizon." Well, that's interesting, isn't it? So where I live, as people may know, is I live in Plymouth, and out at sea, 14 miles out, there's a lighthouse called the Eddystone Lighthouse. I've done it before. It's quite a famous landmark. And what's unique to that is it has a stump beneath it. Adjacent to it, which was the original Smeaton's Tower, which now resides on the Hoe in Plymouth. So it's a famous sort of landmark. And what I'm going to say is that I actually took a video of this from a position. I meant to pull it up on Google Earth. I'll do that now, actually. So I took this video from a place called Coxside again, and I could see the Eddystone Lighthouse with my naked eye. Right, so when I zoomed in with the camera and then zoomed out again, when I reviewed the video back at home, I couldn't see the lighthouse on my film shot when I zoomed all the way out from where I was standing. And I'll actually show you actually pretty much, I think this is my little shot from before. So I'm actually pretty much there, I think. So I was on this little walkway. Forget all that other stuff. Oh yeah, so that pretty much is it here. The Eddystone shot. This is where I was here. And there's a lamp post there. This is a little walkway. It gives you a good shot there. You would probably see. Well, if I just do properties, what's the properties of that? Oh, okay, I can show you this. That's the coordinates there. What's the altitude of that relative to sea? Yeah. Okay. No, I thought it might have given me the altitude. Well, there you can see that's the latitude and longitudes there. Right. So that's where I was actually filming. Now, the thing that bothered me with this was that, as good as the P900 is, I could not see the lighthouse with the camera once I'd zoomed out in the film. I'll show you that. But I could see it with my naked eye. So what I'm not going to do is say, look, the lighthouse disappears, because I know when I was stood there, I could see the lighthouse with my naked eye. I'll say it again, with my naked eye, but the camera didn't. So what I thought was that perhaps if I turn around this way, I'm talking to the screen, not the camera. So what I thought I would do was actually, once I got the camera home and looked at the film, I'd actually start to have a look to see when the camera would actually start to see the lighthouse. And something very interesting indeed came out of it. Now, is it proof, or is it it's what happened on the day? Now, depending on many factors regarding light, humidity, temperature, what have you. So people can talk about, oh, it's the refraction, this it's the reflection, this it's the radiant intensity or the radiant energy density within that area between. It's the whole multitude and plethora of metrics that you can't state is actually uh, constant from my eye to the lighthouse. And so, for example, let me just close that down again. Still there, look. I'll just keep, maybe I'll just refresh. No, I won't refresh it. I'll just, so that Melbourne plane is still there, look. Let's just click on him again. Still there, look. Anyway, so back to light. So let me just pull this across here. Now, according to Wikipedia, look, um, this is, let's bring it up. This is light, excuse me. This is light. This is what uh, Wikipedia says about light. So, yeah, we know. Oh, look at this, some lovely little maths here from modern physics. Manifold dynamics, Schrödinger and Klein Gordon equations. Looks very good, doesn't it? Prism. Okay, so yeah, whatever. Particle theory, wave theory, yes, blah blah blah. Electromagnetic spectrum, yes. Speed of light, yes. Optics. Now, light sources, yeah, we know that. Blah, 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 blah. Certain other mechanisms can produce light: bioluminescence, the Cherenkov radiation, scintillation. That's good. Have you been scintillated recently? I don't know. Right, so units and measures. The main articles are photometry, optics, and radiometry. Radiometry is a set of techniques for measuring electromagnetic radiation, including visible light. Techniques in optics characterize the distribution of radiation powers in space, as opposed to photometric techniques which characterize the lights with the human eye. So anyway, have a look at all this, people. This is the radiometry units. So pick whichever one you want. Look, I've mentioned this before, and you've a few times, I believe, in some chats I've had over the years. Oh, okay. So on to photometry. Oh, did you say what photometry was there? Let's have a look what says photometry. Come on. Oh, is it there? Photometry. All right. Photometry is the science of the measurement of light in terms of its perceived brightness to the human eye. It is distinct from radiometry, which is the science of measurement of radiant energy in terms of absolute power. In modern photometry, the radiant power at each wavelength is weighted, is it? Is weighted. Oh dear. Well, so you can have a look at this. Just type light into Wikipedia. Yeah, then you can see the radiometry and all the photometry aspects of light at any given time or whatever. You know? Oh, crumbs. There's quite a lot. Light pressure. Light pressure? What? Light exerts physical pressure on objects in its path. Okay. By Maxwell's equation, but can easily more explained by the nature of light. Photons strike and transfer their momentum. Light pressure is equal to the power of the light being divided by c, the speed of light. Due to the magnitude of c, the effect of light pressure is negligible for everyday objects. Okay. Due to the magnitude of c. Okay. Yeah, I think that's just a curveball, that one. I'm not going to talk about that. What I do want to talk about is my video. So I'm going to get rid of Wikipedia there. Still hasn't moved. Look, it's still there. Those poor people. They're in the dark. They don't know they're not moving. Do you think it really is there? Perhaps. I don't know. Look, it's there. Black and white. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the video now, and I will play it. He says, "Oh, by the way, I've got some new headphones. Yeah, I bought these. I'm hoping the sound looks the sound and on the video comes out okay. Now, as you can see here on this video here, this is the beginning of it. I'm sure I've got the sound turned down. Yes, I have, because it was really windy. I filmed this in March, towards the end of March, and I've been meaning to put this up here, but as you can see, you can't see the Eddystone there in this picture. But I could see the Eddystone with my naked eye, as I was saying. So between me and it's, this whatever's happening in between. So I mean, it's well, what I did is I will play the whole video, so you can see the video, and you'll see the lighthouse come in, and then go back, zoom in a couple of times. Okay, the sun's obviously at pretty much 12 o'clock. I don't know what time is this here during the day. It wasn't very late in the day. It was probably towards the end of the morning, towards midday, and I shall play the video in 2 seconds. Right, so by the magic of editing, I had to stop it a second. I'm going to play this video on. Let's play it. And the sound is down. Hey, let's see what happens here. So, can zoom out. It was rather windy here today. Can you see how that whole lighthouse came into view as the zoom went out? Okay, it's a bit shaky. It was, believe it or not, this is on a tripod. It was so windy, and I guess the actual pathway channeled some of that gusts of wind into where it was. Come back out again. Yeah, I think I did take a snapshot of this photograph. Stuck it on. There you go. And she disappears. Now I know I could see this with my naked eye. This is the intriguing thing about it. So what's different with the camera compared to my eye? My eye's better than than the P900 camera. I'd say yes, it is. For definition wise. So it's the data that this cameras and the light that the camera's actually been exposed to. So I just take the ship as a reference. This is an RFA ship by the look of it. Come along the horizon, and there she is. And people say, "Oh, look, she's below the horizon. The bottom's disappeared first." Yeah. Well, it's behind the wave, that the last wave that this camera can see. So every wave beyond that wave there is smaller. And we come back to the beginning again. Okay, so as I said, you can't see the Eddystone in this, but I could with my eye. I'll say it again. I've said it again. I could see it with my eye, so that perturbed me slightly. So I wanted to. Oh, it's still there. Look, let's do a refresh while we're here. Two birds with one stone. Hey, okay, listen there. Still the same there. Look, people. Oh, Santiago to Melbourne. Where's this fella going? Line 81. Auckland to Santiago. Oh, right. Okay, this one's going to Santiago, is it? It is. Sydney to Santiago. Okay. I wonder if they're moving at all. This one seems to be moving. Where's he? Auckland to Santiago. Right, okay. Yes. Let's keep an eye on these four, shall we? Estimated. So, yeah. Right. 2-4. Oh, that's changing. It was 246, now it's 429. Okay, but I digress. Now, what I want to bring up here is the photographs. It's gone. That one there. Right. So, if I bring up this one here, now is that's called? I call this Ali Eddie actually because I sent these to Ali. See if he wants to do anything with them. I can actually bring these up. So okay, let me explain what I did. So I took the video, and as I stepped through the video, it's about 60 frames per second. So there's a few frames in between. And what I did is took a snapshot of the video of the screen, and then I can zoom in and have a look and see what the camera and magnify the picture as to see what the pixels, what data on the pixels there are. And I think this is that was number one. Yeah. Now, bear in mind also what you did see in the video is that beside the Eddystone, you have the stump. Okay, so you have the lighthouse and the stump where Smeaton's Tower used to be. They took it down, put it on the Hove because they didn't want to get rid of it, because it was the first lighthouse of its kind that was built and shaped like a tree with interlocking bricks. So the Victorians didn't want to actually lose it. They wanted to keep it as a monument to Smeaton and the effect that that was the successful design of a lighthouse, and all other lighthouses the world over have pretty much been of that design since Smeaton designed that one back in the 1700 something. So anyway, let's zoom in here, see what I can see. Right, so there we have it. So no stump, no stump there at all. Okay, so the light that's coming into the camera, 16 megapixels. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now look at this band above the horizon here. This is, you go back to the lighting from Wikipedia. What's actually happening between me and the camera and this? Who knows? But the information that's coming into the camera array is, it's 16 megapixels. It's actually defining something round about here, all right? But it's darker at the top than it is at the bottom. Now, bearing in mind that the lighthouse is round, so we're going to get wherever the sunlight is bouncing off that. So the light that's coming to the camera is obviously reflected off of the lighthouse, but everything else in behind is diffused. So it's about the level of light that's hitting that pixel, right? That's determining, the camera's determining what the color is, or what the intensity is. And so there's a lot of noise beside it. No stump. Okay, no stump. The stump hasn't disappeared off the horizon, people, has it? It's still there. It is there. It's just that the camera can't see it yet because I'm zoomed all the way in yet. Okay, so that's important. That's important because it hasn't gone over the horizon. This lighthouse hasn't gone over the horizon, has it? It's there still, but I can't see it. But we're going to see it as I zoom in. This is the whole point. Okay, so I need to repeat this at some point as well. Maybe from a different angle, maybe from a different height, or whatever. But what I can't guarantee is the light metrics between my eye and the lighthouse, or the camera and the lighthouse for any given time of day. Don't know. So all I did, this is just a snapshot of the date and time with the position. Okay, so that's that fella there. Right now, a few frames later, I'll close that down. Still there, look, still there. Let's go for 1A. It's 1A. Yeah, so it's a bit, yeah. Okay, so maybe 1A was the first one. Can't really see anything there. It's not as good as photograph, is it? But again, nothing there. That's the mast from something or other there. It just looks like noise, doesn't it, when you actually get up close to it? And your brain fills the rest in, as it were, regarding that's the lighthouse there on the end of the breakwater. That one there. So, okay, that's 1A. That's not a very good shot. 1A is, I did do these in sequence and name them. Again, can I see it there? Let's zoom in. Nope, I can't see it, but I could see it with my naked eye. So what's the difference between my eye and the camera then? The camera has a certain resolution that can get information. I don't have pixels in my eye, do I? I just receive the light. So every conceivable light that's coming in is processing in my brain, and I can see it and make sense of it. But this is the limited capability of a modern piece of equipment. So, but therein lies the answer, because it can only show what it's receiving. So where does it receive the light first? And that's what I'm going to show you. Where does it see the light from the lighthouse first of all? Let's go to alley 2, alley 2. Now look at this. This is quite interesting. Now you can see this splurge here. What is that splurge? That is the lighthouse, by the way. But how is the camera determining, or what is happening to the pixels? So let's zoom in on this. So now we can start seeing, we don't see the bottom of it. Look, we don't see the bottom. We can see something on the top here, because whatever's happening between the surface of the sea at the horizon with the atmosphere and the light, it's been dispersed somehow because the light I'm getting is further above the horizon than what it is towards it, right? So and still no stump. Still no stump. Look, I can't see anything. There's smudge there. I don't know what that is. But look, now we're starting to get a fatter image as the camera's coming in, so the pixels are starting to actually spread out as it's receiving more information in terms of light. So when I talk about information, I'm talking about light, which is affecting the actual pixel within the CCD array of the camera. Sorry, charge coupled device. You can look that up. I'm not going to explain that here, but as more to say is that I've got 6 pixels here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's say 10 by 3 of the 16 million. That is. So it's quite sensitive. Um, let's go to number 3. Oops, sorry, I didn't close that one, did I? Let's go to number 3. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, number 3. I must have no. Maybe that should be something else then. Maybe I zoomed out when I didn't mean to. Close that one down. Close that one down. Still there. Okay, has he moved on a bit? 2548 now. What's this one? He's 3867. Make a note of that if you will. 4. Let's have a look at this one. Yes, we've got a bigger splurge there now. Let's have a look and see how many pixels we've got. Oh, look at this. Look, slightly darker now. Slightly darker. A lot of noise and scattering perhaps here above the horizon. It was a bit noisy. So as it gets further out, it becomes more defined. It's starting to fill in a picture, but still, there's still nothing at the horizon level here. It's still gone. So, I mean, we know the lighthouse is there. The bottom hasn't gone over the horizon. It's just that it's been out with the whatever's happening at the horizon level. So maybe that's why ships mast are the last things to go, because they're higher and they're above all the compressed or for the photometry and the radiometry of the light that's coming towards our eye. Yeah, maybe the pressure of the light. Oh, bang! Garbage. Anyway, let's close that one down. Let's go to number 5. Oh, look at this more defined now. Now, this is what I would say. This picture here is what I would say is that I could see with my naked eye. However, the camera now is, as it's zooming in, this is frame after so many frames, yeah? As you can see around here, look, it's still a bit noisy above the horizon here. Now this shape here is becoming more defined. Now, if you were to look at this as a photograph and this was Plymouth Hoe, you would say, oh yeah, that's the Eddystone out there. I'm sure that would be the Eddystone. Zoom in on it again. Let's have a look. No, she's starting to fill in a bit more from the bottom now because it's getting closer. So the light that's through the optics is coming towards it. Technically, it's zooming in onto it. So this is becoming taller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13. And it's splayed out. So the light is being dispersed as far as the camera is concerned. So the pixels are actually shaded in a way that makes it, there's something there, but it's not quite focused in yet. So that's number 5. Oh, crumbs, I've got 30 of these to go. Still there, look. Okay, let's zoom in out a bit more, shall we? Oh, he's 390. He's moving. It is moving. Usually you can see these things move a bit quicker than that. Yeah, he is moving. Yeah. Line 805. Okay. Number 6. Oh, look at that. It's looking a bit fatter now, but look, it looks as if the bottom's disappeared first. I swear that this lighthouse is moving. Look, nothing on the bottom, but it's becoming fatter now, isn't it? There. Still no sign of the stump. The stump must be over the horizon. Yes. Okay, that's number 6. Oh, crumbs. Let's go to number 7. I might skip a few in a minute, but I'm trying to make a point here. It's still a bit fatter. Yeah. Look at this lights around in here. Oh, we've got 2 by. Yeah. Now, as we get closer, more of the light is becoming defined, and the pixels are able to differentiate because it's the amount of light that's actually hitting the pixel now, right? Or so many more pixels. So it's starting to come in, and your brain actually fills the rest of the information in there to say, yeah, that's probably Eddystone. Number 8. Let's have a look here. Right, there we are. Yep, still look at this noise around here. I can't actually define it yet, can it? No, still no stump. Bum, bum, bum. And don't forget the camera was moving also, so it, it's now it's starting to take a bit more shape of a lighthouse now, is it? No, still wouldn't be able to tell what that is from there, but it's because I know it's the Eddystone, and I'm telling you it's the Eddystone. It's becoming more defined. It's still only 2 pixels wide, really, and whereas the rest of the pixels are now starting to come into play, it's still a bit scattered there. That's number 9. So we've got 10. Yes. Oh, look, I think we can just see the beginnings of the stump. So now we've 3 pixels wide here, with the center pixels becoming even darker. I mean, look at this fella down here, whatever that is. I think that's a little fort place in front of the breakwater. This would be the breakwater here. And it looks like an 1980s computer screen video, doesn't it? But there's something here, look, there, but it's just lost in the mix at the moment. But we're now 3, 4, nearly 5 pixels wide, starting to shade in on the other sides there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13, coming to 14, 15, 16, 17 pixels tall. Okay. Let's zoom out on that a bit. Come on, where? Should be 4 planes there, isn't there? Where have they gone? Yes, there they are. They are moving, at least. She should swing around here soon. Maybe. Oops. Sorry. Didn't mean to do that. Right, so where was I? Right, number 11. It's got number 11 here. Oh, look at this. That looks better now, doesn't it? Where's the stump? See, there's the breakwater, right? There's the breakwater, and here is that. It looks a lot smaller than what it is. I don't think that's it. There's a fort which looks like it's on the breakwater as you look out this way, but it's not. It's actually off of it. Apparently it's illegal to go on there. I don't know what's on there, but anyway, I digress a bit. And here we go. Look, it's yep, more defined now. Look, the shading on the pixels have started to saturate out now. That's a good word, actually, saturate. So that means that pixel, that's it. It can't do anything less. It's fully switched over. It's maximized out. So the data becomes black. Yeah. And there we are. So it's becoming wider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and with a slight shade around here. So it's almost like it's fizzing, isn't it? And it's starting to settle the closer you get to it. Is this the beginnings of the stump? Perhaps here, look. It's not over the horizon. It is there, isn't it? Right, next one. 12. Oh, crumbs, I'm only on 12. Now, this is starting to look like a lighthouse now, isn't it? Maybe not. Oh, look. Remember I was saying it was because it's round, this lighthouse is round. We know it's round. And now we're starting to see some sort of formation regarding the structure. So as the center point of the light's coming, because technically it is closer to us, the center point of that lighthouse, and the rest is curving away. So the light will be bouncing off that in different directions as well as coming towards me, but more out towards, from the center. Not very scientific explanation, but you know what I mean. That's number 12. Let's go for. Unlucky for some, 13. Right, is it? What's this here? Bit of a. It's that beginning of the stump there. You can see now it's actually filling it in, whereas before we had nothing here, did we? We had nothing there. I'll have to do this video again, and because this is quite a good aspect to try and show what it is we're looking at on the horizon. Even though I can sit like, oh, look at this now. This is the beginnings of the stump. All a bit of a noise around here, which you can't see in the video, but it was there nonetheless. I keep saying it. And now it's starting to build nicely now with some sort of mess on the top, whereas the bottom is becoming more defined now, though it's truncated by the last wave and the so can you see that up there? No, probably not. I drew a lighthouse, but I just wanted to explain the thing with the wave. I'll leave that for now, perhaps. Oh, look at this. This is becoming fatter at the bottom now, you see? See how it's starting to become the top with the actual lighthousing is, and then the stump is becoming apparent. Whereas, look, it's not floating, is it? No, it's not. Right. So if I skip to 16, here we are. Oh, I drew a line there somehow for some reason. I don't know what that line is. Was it me? Did I draw that line on there? No, I didn't. Did I? Oh no, look, it was actually how it was in the video because I actually took a snapshot of the controls there. So that's 16. So let's get rid of those two to go to 17. Nope, that's a bad one. 17A, that was it. I might have forgotten to hit save. And again, now it's starting to form shape now. As it's getting closer to it, it's filling in the bottom so the light isn't being scattered away, which it would be at distance. So that's that one. Go to 18. It's more defined now, isn't it? Let's have a look at this, see what she looks like. Again with these pixels. Still more to come, as you can see here. Look, there's still more to come. But as you zoom out, you start recognizing this as, oh, that could be a lighthouse, yeah. With the stump beside it. Yes. 19. Yeah. So it's funny when I started the video from the opening shot, you couldn't see it. So as I moved on in frames, there's about 3 to 4 frames. When you press play, press pause. There must, at least if there's 60 frames per second, even if I managed 1 second, it's moved 60 frames on from the original, from one photograph to the next. So the difference is 60 frames that it's taking. That's if I was absolutely perfectly timing it between hitting start and stop, pause, snapshot, save. So thereabouts. It's not an exact science, but you get my drift. 20, hopefully. And look at this. Look, here we are. So pretty much all there now, isn't it? Yeah. 21 is becoming, the top is becoming more defined where the lighthousing is, with the sort of shape of a tree trunk, That one, get rid of that one. 22. So there you are. So this has always been there in this video. It's always been there. It's just that when it's zoomed out, you can't see it until you zoom in. Don't forget, this is not the whole video. This is taking the opening first couple of seconds of the video. It's not the whole video. These are just snapshots from the first few seconds of the zooming in of that video. Okay, this isn't the beginning and the end of the video. This is the first few seconds. Still there. Was that 4,007? Oh, okay. Hmm. Yeah, these are flight paths. Wonder where that actually is then. What's that one there? Where's he coming from? Doesn't say. That one? No, I think he's on the ground, that one. Punta Arenas. Okay. I'll just keep an eye on this one here. All right, 23. Yes. There we are, look. Stump. That's filling everything in. So if I were to move back from this further away, I would probably see the opposite happen, whereas it would start to get thinner and thinner and thinner, and it would look as if it's gone over the horizon. Well, actually, it's still there. Yeah, there we are. More defined now. Still a bit of a noise with the rest of the light. This sort of higgledy-piggledy noise above the horizon with the light. It's indeterminate, isn't it? Really, this is an indeterminate. This is no physical objects here. This is the oh, well, for want of a better word, the environment between the sea and the atmosphere, whatever that layer is. It's not as if I could go out and measure it, is it? Not really. I could use many of the metrics regarding photometry and radiometry to actually try and say what it is. That it's like, I mean, the camera never lies, does it? No. There we are. Zoom out on that. Yep. And it's probably getting a bit boring now, I must admit, isn't it? Yes. There you go. Yeah. We're up to 27 now. Now that looks like a lighthouse now, doesn't it? It does, yes. 28. There we are. So it's getting closer to the zooming effect. Would like to talk a bit about this whole aspect of this horizon line. Look, as it gets, it's not a defined line as such, although you could say when you're further away, it does. There it is. There, look, But this isn't this wave here isn't 10 foot high, is it? It looks on the same level as the base of the lighthouse. So, oh, but the lighthouse is further away. Yes, the lighthouse is further away than this wave here, right? So if I were to take, I don't know, let's grab this here. Yes, if I was to take this here, I'm not sure you can see that, can you? I don't know. Um, let's pull that in a bit there. Hang on. So there's my no, don't think you can see it. Anyway, I suppose I could sketch it on my little pad, but I can't be asked really. So basically, this line here is probably, if that's my lighthouse, right? That line that we're looking at there on the video, there, the line is there's the lighthouse. There's the actual wave here, right? There's the wave there that it's looking at, right? On that snapshot. And so if I were to be able to just stop that and then hop up and have a look down, the wave closer to the lighthouse is going to be smaller from this position. But this is with the camera in the eye, this is the last that I can actually define, and everything beyond that is smaller. It's just that this is just bigger than the waves down below it, so it sticks up, but I can't see the bottom. That to me is fundamental. It is a fundamental thing. It's just, you know, if you imagined, I'll tell you, no, I'm going to use the word imagined. I mean, contour lines. Have a look at contour lines. Just represented on a 2D map. When you look at the contour lines, they represent different heights. So imagine a contour line on the sea, right? In terms of perspective of distance, those contour lines would actually get smaller and smaller and smaller because the actual peaks of the waves are closer together because it's at a distance. It's got together because it's further. It's smaller. I don't know how else I can put it. It's not a very good analogy, I must admit. But Let's go to 29. There you go. Yes, I'm getting actually closer to it now. Look, you can actually see the helicopter landing pad come into play here. Still a bit of noise. The stump's well defined now. It's filled it all in nicely. 30. Yes. Now then, the rest, as they say, is it's pretty much. What I should have done really is perhaps there you can see it. I mean, 13 seconds in, 13 seconds in on that video, right before we get the full thing into view. So 13 seconds would be, 380, 60. That's 98. Oh, 980 frames. So that's nearly 1,000 frames of data before it's actually defined in terms of the focal length of the zoom on the lens, before it can actually fully make this defined picture. So there, you can see out of 3 minutes and 44 is 13 seconds from the start of the video. And that's up at number 32, which is the last one. I don't know what these are. Oh, this one instantly is Flying Scotsman that came into Plymouth. Yeah, hey, Plymouth. Don't know who these people are, doesn't matter. But this is the Flying Scotsman. It looks a lot smaller than what you'd imagine. Yeah, good it was too. Anyhow, it's a mobile nuclear device. A steam engine. What's... Oh dear. Okay. Now let's go back to the beginning, shall we? That's not the beginning. There we are. I can just about see it there. Which is a shame. I haven't got the. But I can play the video once more. Here we go. So 13 seconds. Oh, is it 13 seconds? Come on. There we go. From the start of it. That's right. Yeah, you fill it all in. Watch how it actually appeared in front of your eyes as if by magic. And then we zoom it back out again. Did I zoom in twice? I'm not sure. Like I say, I kept the sound down because it is horrendously noisy with the wind. I shall have to repeat this. But the weather's been absolutely terrible. It's brightened up a bit today. A bit more over. It's still overcast though. Watch it bang. Let's stop it there. That's the picture I said where I can still see the thing with my naked eye. And with that, let's go back to see how our planes are doing. We've seen that. We've seen that one. Bring that down, bring that down. Oh, didn't realize I had so many open, but there you go. Let's get rid of all these. It's timed out. F5. Refresh that. Yeah, still there. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on this one just to see. Excuse me. Keep an eye on this one just to see how he goes. Yeah. Be nice to see that in the daytime, wouldn't it? That flight. I wonder if they fly then. Do they? Yeah, it's 4204. He is moving. So once again, people, if you want to talk about saving the environment, get rid of all of these first. If these really are burning as much fuel, then I'm surprised we haven't run out already. Because look, there's millions of people in the air at any one time, going here, going there, hither and thither. Yes, all these planes burning fuel, and they're higher up in the atmosphere, putting the CO2 into the air a lot closer than we are. But then people will say, "Oh, but there's, compared to planes, it's a more efficient way of traveling." Yeah, but if we didn't have this, people in cars and stuff, what about all the ships on the seas at the same time as well? All the lorries on the roads, on all the cars. I'm surprised we're still breathing, be able to breathe. Look, it's terrible. No call sign, no call sign. Some balloons down here, look, in Australia. They're all in the dark. Always early morning flights. Yeah. Excellent. It'd be nice in a balloon. Okay, people, I should leave it there. I hope I've, it's nearly an hour. So there you go. Right. I shall leave it at there, and I'm going to do some more video shots of the Eddystone, see if I can have some better quality shots, etc. Maybe not so jerky, but it was rather windy and cold. It still is, I'm afraid. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope everybody is well, and catch you all in chat at some point. Bye for now.